Do you think of all your years of texting that something that is said or done in regards to the University of Arkansas has sparked the most entertaining text that you've received in any way, shape, or form?
That's a very good Luke Bryan song coming in. That
Parker McCollum, but yeah.
I just meant.
Oh, God.
Because I actually thought it was your guy, Morgan Wallen. I was trying to mess with
Well, I'm a little...
we both made a joke of ourselves.
Yeah. I am a little nervous. I've got his pre-sale coming up, and I know you hate Ticketmaster with the Fire of 1,000 Suns. It is on Ticketmaster. By the way, the AMP switched over to Ticketmaster, which I saw people were just irate about. When it
be a lot of ticket discussion this morning, isn't it?
Yes. Not just concerts, but of course what's happening in Bud Walton Arena. Any advice? It's the pre-sale, on the pre-sale, before we jump into what everyone really wants to talk about. The pre-sale's at 1 o'clock. It's at NRG Stadium. I'm going to get on 15 minutes before. Any advice as someone that's done one of these? Didn't you do it with Taylor Swift?
Yeah.
Okay. Any advice? I guess I did one for St. Louis, but it wasn't on Ticketmaster. So any suggestions how to navigate the treacherous waters? Okay.
Patience. I waited my turn on Taylor Swift for my kids, and I got down to the very end. We still got lower level seats. So you never know. Even though you might wait an hour, you may still get great seats.
I don't know if you know this, but patience is a virtue.
Oh,
I don't know if you're aware of that this morning. But.
All right. Hunter Yurachek was on this very radio station less than an hour ago, talking with Chuck and Bo about the reseeding of Bud Walton Arena. We'll do that in just a second. Brought to you by Sassy's Barbecue. That's where you can see Coach Cal live on Monday nights during the basketball season most weeks, unless they're playing on Tuesday on the road, and they generally don't have it that week. Get by and have a great lunch or dinner today with Alan and his team at Sassy's, because they got 2 locations in Fayetteville, the original Red House on College, just off the Weddington exit on Steamboat. I like... I love the honey sriracha wings. The smoked wings are incredible. The sweet potato tots are one of my favorites. If I'm going with someone and they've never been before, I'm gonna you get that like 4-meat platter and then just split it for the table. You get like 3 sides. It's plenty of food. Great way to indoctrinate someone to how great Sassy's food really is. Sassy's Barbecue and Grill off the Weddington exit. The original Sassy's Red House on College. Proud to be a part of the Morning Rush.
I know Alan's really excited for patio season 2, which is going to be here before we know it. So the reason, again, the Luke Bryan, Parker McCollum, Morgan Wallen song was played, and the text I received this morning was just burn it down. Talking about the changes, talking about the athletics department. I was going through our text line this morning. I love our text line. Now, I personally rather you call us. I just think it's better for content. It's better to give you time to fully open up about what you think about this topic or anything else. But our text line was lit up this morning, and I called a few season ticket holders yesterday because I'm not one, and I just wanted to get some, just not advice, but just some feedback on, hey, what do you think about this? Now, keep in mind, the people that I talk to are closer to my age demographic, early 30s. Probably should have done a better job of hitting some 60s and 70-year-olds just to get a better sense of what they felt like it as well, because my group, obviously, because they don't make as much, don't donate as much. But I got some positive and negative feedback. I was kind of surprised. It was not as I thought when this came out, this would be World War III.
Well, it hasn't even really come out yet. You think people are mad now? Wait till they put the price tags on these things.
I see. So the thing is, Tommy, my understanding, unless I heard Hunter wrong this morning, is they're going to keep it about the same. Unless I misheard him. You listen.
Well, no, wait a minute.
Help me on this.
Wait a minute. In last week, we just read the email about the new platinum seating, $40,000. Here's what you get.
The ticket price, I'm not
talking about ticket prices. I'm talking about the donation level. The ticket increase is that I don't say meaningless, but that's not what's going to ding your wallet. What's going to ding your wallet is what does it cost to have the right to buy those tickets in the seat location.
Not just to stay in the building.
I'm not talking about ticket. I mean, it's all ticket price to me. Because if I'm sitting anywhere on the sideline, I could probably expect a significant, probably at least double what I'm paying now to continue to stay in the same general location of where I'm at in Bud Walton. One thing about Bud Walton is a very small capacity when you think about, potential demand, 19,000 seats, It's really less than that by the time you take out students, the band, the ones the university actually use for, marketing purposes and on and on and on, recruits, guests, visitors, tickets. That number
what do you think it actually
probably
is?
15 to 16 would be my guess.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Maybe a little bit less than that. The students, I don't know how many they actually allocate to students. So point being, you start boiling it down, and then you get to a number that's really 15,000-ish. So, how many people are willing to pay the $40,000 to sit mid-court sideline?
Can we have a sidebar for a sec?
Yeah.
Is that a Stream Song Polo?
No, this is the Patriot.
Tulsa. Okay. I saw that looked like a Stream Song on the side. No. I've wanted to play that resort in Tampa. Sorry, I've been staring at it for the last 3 minutes. Stream Song's in Tampa. Patriots.
I'm going to Tampa soon. Maybe I'll go to Stream Song.
It's a big resort. Sorry, I got sidetracked.
Really,
where were you? Where'd you go?
I'm just saying, people can be up in arms and raise Cain, and that's fine. But I don't even think we've begun to hear it till they start telling you, hey, that seat you're in now that you've been giving $1,000 a year, $1,500 a year is now $5,000.
Okay. Now,
and I don't know what it's going to be, but we already have seen the first kind of peek behind the curtain with the $40,000 deal last week.
Now,
we didn't gotten to that part yet.
I thought there was some good content from what Hunter said this morning. I did want you to clarify me on two things.
Okay.
And it's and again, reading's not my specialty by any stretch of the imagination. Neither is articulating what I learn or what I think from time to time when it comes to discussion like this. But based on what I've read, whether it was that email that was sent out, I really like reading Matt Jones and Whole Hog. I think he does a great job of condensing stuff and breaking it down. Is it like you have to donate $500 now regardless to get in the building? Like, even if you have tickets, based on, and it's a small.
Are we talking football or are we talking
basketball? Bud Walton Arena. It looks like to me, based on what I read, like you can stay in the building. I think Hunter is accurate in that, but you have to at least pay $500 now, and that was not the case with certain tickets, certain bad. I'm putting air quotes, bad tickets at Bud
less
Walton
desirable
Arena.
seats, the upper deck corners.
Yeah. The other thing was, and when he said that no one loses tickets if you stay in the building, whatever. Based on what I read, there are tickets if you donate a $5,000 or $10,000, you don't get the same amount of seats that you've been getting. You still get seats, but you don't necessarily get the same amount. So if you have a larger family, if you go in on with friends or whatever, which is I think what a lot of people do, I think it's smart. If I ever invest in a lake house, I'm not going to buy it by myself. I'm going to go on it with 2 or 3 friends because I'm not going to be able to go every weekend. Just kind of like Razorback tickets. Like, I don't think that I'll be able to attend every single event. And I'm familyless right now, and I can't go every weekend. So my thought later on. So that, to me, that kind of stood out as some of the 2 questions I had.
And I think they had some of that general pricing up there, like the $500 minimum. But when these conversations really started, I need to go back and I read through that email, and you're right, there was the $500 minimum. But did it break it down? Someone was saying there was a section, because I read through it. I don't remember seeing a section where it broke it down, area of the arena by area, and that's what I was really talking about. I read through Hunter's email, and I'm
maybe it's
scrolling my phone.
It's the 50 to 99, the 2 tickets,
reseating and reparking. This is going to go similar to the way baseball went 3 years ago. I mean, it's a similar process.
And I had one of the questions I had jotted down because. You go through this process is what differences are there for 2021? You think about Bud Walton Arena and the success that you've had selling out tickets.
Okay, you had to scroll all the way to the bottom. I failed to do that part, but yeah, it goes from Broyles Matthews Diamond at $40,000 all the way to the bottom. 2 tickets with the Razorback levels, 50 to 99. But I'm gonna bet you don't get in the building, like you said, unless you're at least Big Red, which is $500, $499 to be in that group.
Yeah, it says in Razorback it's 2 tickets, so it's a minimum of 50 to 99.
Right,
that's 2 tickets. So that's still based on what I think it was previously. You're still having to contribute more than you were.
But people are going to want to say, "All right, I want to stay in my seat." Well,
and then you'll have
your
to go.
seat, you maybe have been a tush hog or a big hog. I think I'm in the tush hog group. and that gets me one parking pass and my 2 seats. Where's that seating now? If I just maintain my donation level, where is that now? And Bill, thanks for the text. I didn't scroll all the way to the bottom and see that yesterday. I apologize. But am I going to have to bump up from Tush Hog, which is 1,000 to 2,000, and get into Wild Hog, or am I going to have to go to Super Hog? Because I'm upper deck sideline.
I like those names.
Yeah.
Those are funny.
So what's it going to cost now for us to keep our seats?
Do you think they get seat backs with those since it's a Tush Hog? Tush Hog and above get seat backs?
Well, they're all seat backs. I mean, other than the student, right?
Yeah, that's right.
They're all chairback seats.
I haven't sat in a chairback seat in so long. I'm not used to it. Ryan at Prairie Grove says he doesn't care anymore. I think, first off, it's tough for Hunter or anyone in that administration. Apparently, they took 87 calls yesterday. And I'm not, listen.
I'm sorry, but I want to clarify. Just because they give us the donation levels of what Broyles Matthews, Diamond, $40,000 a year can get 3 parking passes, 14 tickets down to $100 a year and get you 2. That still doesn't. I mean, you can put some common sense to it and kind of get an idea. But I don't. Which one of these groups does my seat location fall into? I don't know. I would guess that you better be at least probably in that Wild Hog, which is 2,000 to 3,000, or the Super Hog 3,000 to 4,000 to have 3,000 to 5,000 to have a lower level seat. That's the question. All right, you can kind of figure out what is it going to take to sit lower level sideline. That's going to be at the top. If I want to sit lower level end zone, lower level corner, what's that going to be now?
Mm-hmm. Austin and Fort Smith saying, I can tell you what my 65-year-old coworker said, and I quote, they're going to price fans like me out. So I thought it was interesting reading Matt's piece. I want you to listen to this. This is from Ryan White, who's the new, what is his title, the executive?
He's the executive, or he runs the foundation.
Reading an excerpt from this. From a timing standpoint, if we were 7-1, would that be better? Maybe, yeah. But I tell people, regardless of what happens this year, our diehards and our loyal people, they're going to be there, win or lose. That's, I think, the issue of what's happening right now, is this would still not be a positive thing for the most part, but you're 1-6.
Well, and here's one of the issues that's getting lost in all of this. This was the same issue we had in baseball, and it's becoming the issue in basketball. Ty, imagine you were giving $10,000 a year, all right?
Yeah.
And you got good seats in the football stadium, but they can't get you anything worth a darn in basketball or baseball, or you couldn't even get tickets in baseball. You were giving the $10,000. Your status qualified you,
but there wasn't enough seats.
But there wasn't any seats, even though you were giving the $10,000. Yeah. You couldn't get tickets either at all, or your seats were out there with the same people giving $500. How would you feel about that?
I would feel a little irritated. And frustrated.
Hey, I'm giving $10,000 and I'm in the upper deck.
Yeah,
I'm giving $10,000 and I can't even get in. I can't even get 2 seats at Baum Walker.
And I knowingly know a friend that's given $2,500 or
exactly,
15, and whatever it was.
And that's also the other side of this. That that we're more the common fan. That's given $500 to $2,500. How'd you like to be given though $10,000 and you can't even get seats?
Here's what I would say to that. There are, I say, normal average Joes. I would say executives and people that make that type of money. But I think what a lot of fans, at least the feedback that I've gotten, are frustrated is it's more corporations that are buying up those big levels like you're talking about because they can afford to. And
it's just a line item in the budget.
What we saw in Baum Walker, so Baum Walker Stadium will be open to the public a week or 2 weeks from tomorrow, right? Washington State. It's going to be cold. If I had to guess, hopefully we'll get good weather, but behind home plate's not going to be full till what, mid SEC play? And a lot of those are corporation seats. Like I have.
Well, we don't know that. We assume that.
But I think it's fair to assume that, right? And
I mean, you know what assume spells?
Ass. Right? All right. So, but yeah, I'm
out of who?
Out of you and me.
Yeah.
But I think that's again, I don't have time to call and hey, I want you to tell me this seat, this seat, this seat, this seat, this seat, this seat. One, they probably wouldn't disclose that.
No.
But I think it's just okay for me to assume based on what happened.
You're assuming with no facts, but go ahead.
Reset. Right. Well, I do that a lot. And that to me leads that Bud Walton's going to see something similar where attendance is already an issue because they're not good, right? But what happens if they start being good or whatever, and that place still isn't full?
They've been good the majority of the last 5 years in basketball. I didn't say great, but they've been good. Elite 8, Sweet 16. I mean, this has been a program that's been above average for the last 5 years consistently. Would you say that's fair?
Prior 3 years, before the last 2 years. This year, the year before, they stunk. 3 years before that,
but the last 5 years, there's been reason to be hopeful about the basketball program. Prior to Eric Musselman, not as much of a reason. But the reality is, you can't continue to have donors giving you $7,500, $10,000, $15,000, $25,000, and you can't get them seats that match up with their donation. I mean, would you keep paying and then never getting what you're paying, what you feel like you're paying for? And I think you're right that there are a lot of these seats that are bought up by companies and corporations. We do that, and we're not giving $10,000 a year. But the radio station we buy.
But ours will get. That's the thing. That's where I get frustrated.
But the difference is, you've got people in your circle that are better off than most, right? I've got friends that are better off than some. People that have that kind of money got options of the things they want to do,
and that's fine.
And going to the game isn't always the top priority.
That's fine.
Sometimes they need to go snow skiing, or they need to go to the beach, or
what do I tell you about that?
Put butts in those seats,
and that's my only.
That's not their priority.
Yeah, but before we get in our opening drive, that's the only thing I get angry about when I see Bud Walton or Bomb. Not so much Donald W. because it's not sold out. But when I see, and it's like, just give them to us. And I'm not saying for me, Tommy, Colton, Christian, Matt, Phil, whatever, to use them. I'm saying because we give them away. Our phones light up like Christmas trees anytime we say, hey, we got tickets to give away. It doesn't matter where they are. People just want to get in the building. So if you don't think you can sell them, all I ask is let us be the liaison to give those to a family that could utilize them. Yeah. I promise you they will.
Hey, we're brought to you by LureNet.com. They're part of the Pradco brand, and that's where you go online to find all the great lures made in Arkansas by Pradco. Rebel, Yum, Booyah, and more. And the site also includes exclusive deals and baits that you won't find anywhere else for your favorite brands. Plus free shipping on all U.S. orders over $35. So be sure to treat yourself to some tackle box treasures at LureNet.com. That's LureNet.com.
I've got some good news for this upcoming Super Bowl.
Like, I'm just praying for the Lord to deliver me from pick sixes.
180! What's that? Hard! Turbo! What's that? Somebody jump on sides! Damn!
I'm so happy and grateful that the Lord has blessed me to play in some snow, to be in true football weather in Cleveland, Ohio, at Huntington Bank Field today to give him the glory. It's a beautiful day.
This is the opening drive presented by First Financial Mortgage in Fort Smith.
The good news is Jameis Winston is going to be a Fox correspondent for the upcoming Super Bowl.
Okay.
Who is one of, I think, the more entertaining quarterbacks now in the National Football League. I'm curious to see how Brady does in his first one. Thought he got better throughout this season, but I think, again, from an entertainment value and standpoint, you always talk about just entertain me. Well, I think that he's going to be able to do that. I don't know if there's a more quotable quarterback in the National Football League than Jameis Winston. He seems like a guy that you'd love to play with and do with, but that was the news that was released by Fox yesterday. He's going to be a part of their team for this upcoming Super Bowl coverage a week from Sunday.
Yeah, good. Let's go get some crab legs. That makes me want some crab legs. So
in the Super Bowl, with this game being in New Orleans and whatnot, any idea? And this doesn't have anything to do with the location, guys. Any idea on what 1 minute Super Bowl commercials are going for right now?
Got to be somewhere in the $4 to $5 million range.
I said 1 minute, not 30 seconds.
Oh, 1 minute. Okay.
$16 million.
No, it's not that high.
Did you look?
I heard
that
them say it this morning.
Okay, $16 million. There's websites that keep track of.
We can get you in here on the Morning Rush slightly less than that.
Just a little bit. I get a kick out when I
and we'll make you a Broyles Matthews donor
of the
with your
Morning Rush.
$16 million purchase. We'll make it 13.5. I'll tell you what, I'm in the giving mood. So.
Some people, some business owners and managers that I've talked to.
In fact, I'll give you a minute every day of the rest of the year
for $16 million.
13.5. I'll make a deal today and today only till 5:00.
Okay. Number you want to contact Tommy is 877-377-6963. So Jameis again.
I've only got 5 of those packages available.
Just
by
5.
The way.
Okay.
Yeah, only 5.
We'll keep that. There's probably some Walmart or Tyson or JB Hunt exec listing that's like, hey, can we do this?
Yes.
Can we get coverage statewide?
Yes.
That's your opening drive here this morning, brought to you by First Financial Mortgage. Ethan Adamson is my mortgage lender, and even questions that I have now, several months later. I mean, we got this thing done in July. I could text him right now in January or February, later on this year, and he can still answer any questions I have. They have over 300 5-star reviews right now. Check them out online, First Financial Mortgage at ffb1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
All right, if you haven't got your phone and downloaded the Hit That Line Now app, I want you to pick your phone up if you're not driving, go to the App Store, and just type in Hit That Line Now, and it'll come up. It's powered by Taco Bell. If you don't have the Hit That Line Now app, you're missing out on live content from our shows. You're missing out on podcast and a lot more. And whether you're craving something cheesy, saucy, crunchy, Taco Bell has you covered. It's the Hit That Line Now app, powered by Taco Bell.
All right, when we return, we're going to get into our Hog update. I want to get into what a fan said to Mark Pope and so kind of what he's thinking about this game Saturday inside Rupp Arena as Arkansas travels to Lexington, 8 o'clock, to take on the Wildcats.
Streaming live from hitthatline.com.
This is Chuck Barrett, the voice of the Razorbacks, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my Double R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
I told my wife, I'm sorry I'm putting you through this.
This is The Morning Rush.
Hi, folks. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. Whether you're buying a car, selling a car, or taking care of a car, we've got you. Be sure to follow us on Facebook to see how you can take advantage of $1,000 your way on select road-ready certified used cars with warranty, as well as buy 3, get 1 free on all tires in our Meineke Car Care Center. Start your new year right. Call, click, or come by today and see why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
A new era of chicken is here to stay, and it's not your parents' poultry. The Cantina Chicken menu from Taco Bell is slow roasted and perfectly seasoned. Take it tacoed up in a crispy white corn tortilla with cheese inside and out, or wrapped in a burrito with fresh purple cabbage and freshly prepared pico de gallo. However you like it, you'll never chicken the same way again. Get yours today at your nearest Taco Bell and join rewards to earn free food. Available at participating stores. Rewards points are earned on qualifying purchases. All items while supplies last. Subject to terms.
Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
Are we still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown Bar District.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pick up. Home. Drop off downtown Bar District.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
Ready to explore beyond the beaten path? Discover the Range Rover lineup at Land Rover of Little Rock. Experience handcrafted luxury with the capability to take on any adventure. The elegant Range Rover offers unmatched performance and first-class luxury. The Range Rover is built for every journey. Visit Land Rover of Little Rock today and explore our incredible Range Rover selection. Plus, take advantage of our promotions and recently revamped service department. Visit us at 25 Colonel Glenn Plaza Drive or log on at LandRoverLittleRock.com.
Courtside with Fort Smith Public Schools.
Pretty exciting. First time that we've done a podcast, and we're going to try to promote Fort Smith Public Schools, what we do with our basketball at all 6 schools, the 4 middle schools and both high schools. And then, of course, we've got several big-time tournaments coming up, one that starts today. And so this is going to be exciting.
Coaches take you inside on what's going on in Fort Smith sports. New episode every week on the Hit That Line podcast network and on hitthatline.com.
Hates for 3. It's on the way. Yes! Yes!
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hogcats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey.
Yes, sir!
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
The reseat of Bud Walton Arena is necessary for us to reset that building, create some equity in how our seats are assigned. And obviously, the bottom line is to generate more revenue from that facility, which is needed for us to continue to be successful competing in the Southeastern Conference.
That was Hunter Yurchek this morning on Chuck and Bo, and he did reference the Texas amount of money that they made. It was funny he said that because I was reading an article on that this morning. So Tommy, Arkansas, I think he said made $175 million. Texas surpassed $325 million in operating expenses, and they brought in $331 million in revenues this year. It's the only Division I school in the country that's at least talked about. Ohio State, I think, was at 292. But this is...
I don't even think we're at 200.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm saying, 175, I think is what it was, around there.
Well, I mean, and listen, the more you bring in, the more people are willing to give, the more you're winning, the more you're going to spend. That's the thing. These are not businesses that are trying to get to a bottom line so they can share the profits with shareholders or the owners take home a bigger slice of pie this year. That's and you can't retain a bunch of that. The IRS will not let you sit on a ton of cash. Now the foundation can build up their war chest, but the athletic department itself has to more or less spend almost 100% of what you have coming in.
What do you think about the timing of all this with the Kentucky game this weekend? Should they have done it in another? I mean, I don't know. Maybe they had this set in place for a while at this announcement, but couldn't you just have held off like a week?
And what if you lose badly?
Then it's going to be. I guess it's going to be worse.
So it's a two-edged sword there. I think the timing, with the consideration that it's end of January, your pledge and your purchase for football season tickets generally happens in March. So, I mean, I guess they're giving people enough. I don't know what the thinking is on that. I didn't get to hear all of Hunter's conversation with Chuck and Bo earlier. I know we're going to play some clips coming up here in a few minutes, but, some people may have to make a choice. Now, the donation level that you give is going to give you access to football, basketball, baseball, depending on the level you're at. The price of the tickets you talk about, they're not going to move much. Well, I mean, whether it's $50 more a year per seat's inconsequential to generally what your donation level is going to be. Mm-hmm. So, are people going to have to make a choice on some of this? Some households will.
Well, so the example I would think about, and I don't want to, I guess I need to be clear about this. I'm not defending Arkansas or the Razorback Foundation or Hunter in this situation. What I do is point out another example. So Tennessee athletics is the best in the SEC right now. It's not close. Baseball team just won a national championship. Yeah. Basketball team just made it to the Elite Eight. Football team went to the college football playoff. Danny White is the best athletics director in the SEC.
Well, he's making I don't know about that part, but they get the result.
Let me finish. He's making the most money, and it's well deserved. That being said, I was curious when they added the talent fee to football games, which is basically just trying to help pay for NIL and the revenue distribution that come out. So I listened a little bit of Tennessee Radio. I was just curious. Fans were ticked. And because in Knoxville, there's a massive 15,000 to 20,000 seat waiting lists in Neyland to get in that building.
And they got 105,000 seats.
Yeah, and there's in Bud Walton, I don't know what the waiting list is, but based on sellouts, I would guess that there's a waiting list, but not just for the suites, but for something else. So you're trying to, again, save up money for this eventual revenue distribution. By the way, scholarships additionally on top of that. I think Matt Jones said it was $3.5 million, so you're going to be on the hook for about $25 million on this. So this is, again, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be hacked off about what's going on in college athletics. I think it would be irresponsible for me to go against that. What I am saying is even the best athletics department and the fan base that is in the last year has gotten more joy than anyone else collectively between football, basketball, baseball is like you, not happy about this.
Well, who's ever happy about spending more money?
And that's
to get the same thing.
Yeah. And that's true.
Now, and I don't, I hear your own results. I don't know that makes Danny White the best AD in the conference, just because his teams are, having, his programs, his three major programs are all very competitive nationally. Maybe you say, well, that's the only thing that matters.
It is the only thing that matters. We joke about this.
Well, I would disagree with that because I don't know that the AD's got to make the right hire, but I don't think the AD has a ton to do with wins and losses. Season in, season out.
Did you laugh that they had the Learfield Cup stuff at the very top of that email?
I saw that, yeah.
I was waiting. It's 30 minutes
in. Meaningless thing to the average fan.
I thought you were going to go in on that at first. I was waiting for you to jump in on that.
That's low-hanging fruit. But all right. Wait, have we finished up that segment there? Is that our
unless you're going to add something.
Well, I didn't want to add another sponsor's mention. If we,
no.
There you go. What is that?
Benny Malarkey, call 888 Sparky.
There's a lot more to being a great AD than just your team's winning. I mean, you're the CEO of a multi-hundreds of $million corporation, and that's not easy to do either, to keep the income coming in either.
I'll stand by that statement.
Okay.
Danny White is the best athletics director in the SEC. Their football team's good, their basketball team's good, and their baseball team is salty. Yeah. Best AD in the SEC.
Hey, we're brought to you by the Inn at the Mill. They're at the Johnson exit off I-49. That's exit 69. If you're looking for a place to stay and you're on your next trip to Northwest Arkansas, the Inn at the Mill has spacious, oversized suites, great breakfast to start the day, and the most convenient location in all of Northwest Arkansas. It's where Ty and I stay. You'll enjoy your stay there, too. The Inn at the Mill, 443-1800. or online at inatthemill.com.
Morning Rush Daily Question coming up on a Thursday.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
Hey, this is Billy Ray Smith Jr., and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Listen up, crappie anglers. When it comes to crappie fishing, there's only one baby shad. The original baby shad, crappie fishing's #1 selling bait. Featuring a sleek back, streamlined belly, and quivering tail, that bait just won't stop moving, no matter the temps, no matter the conditions. Built for dead sticking and action-based techniques also, the original baby shad gets right to the point, catching slabs and filling freezers. Bobby Garland Crappie Baits, the leader in crappie fishing innovation.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 477-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
How about those?
This is the Morning Rush. Courtside with Fort Smith Public Schools.
Pretty exciting. First time that we've done a podcast, and we're going to try to promote Fort Smith Public Schools, what we do with our basketball at all 6 schools, the 4 middle schools and both high schools. And then, of course, we've got several big-time tournaments coming up, one that starts today. And so this is going to be exciting.
Coaches take you inside on what's going on in Fort Smith sports. New episode every week on the Hit That Line podcast network and on hitthatline.com.
Takes for 3. It's on the way. Yes! Yes!
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
New for 2025 at the Golf Nut. Now in stock, Cobra Dark Speed Adapt Woods and Irons. Coming January 30th, Ping G440 Woods and Irons and TaylorMade QI35 Woods. Plus, they carry a full line of lab putters, including the latest OZ model. Looking to improve your game? Schedule a lesson or fitting on one of our indoor simulators. Call today to book your appointment. Visit the Golf Nut today at 5121 Towson Avenue and elevate your game. The Golf Nut, your style, your shop.
Transform your yard work game with Ego, the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Experts and nearly 200,000 homeowners rave about Ego's performance. Gas power without the noise, fuss, or fumes. Their patented 56-volt arc lithium battery delivers top-notch torque and fits all 90-plus Ego tools. Power through yard work and tailgates with the same battery. Plus, enjoy Ego innovations like the first fold-flat lawnmower and weatherproof equipment. Discover more at egopowerplus.com.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Christian's Place in Lowell online at carpathsocial.com.
All right, we know prices go up on everything, but it's how we're told in the communication that often determine how we feel about it. I mean, at our core, we finally, we understand that, eggs are up right now, right? I don't know if you buy a lot of eggs, but the price of eggs is expensive right now. Bird flu and all this stuff.
Bird flu?
Yeah. Do you not know that's why the price of eggs is outrageous right now?
I'm going to be honest. I don't know. You ask me these questions on a daily basis. I get my news from you.
Oh, well.
So I want you from now on. I want you from now on to come prepared.
Yeah.
With a detailed list of what's going on in the world, what's going on stateside,
sure,
and then what's going on locally here in Arkansas.
All right.
That way I'm up.
No
to
international news for you. Okay.
That way I'm up.
So here's the Morning Rush Daily Question. Has Hunter Yurachek done a good job of communicating their intentions, their plan, laying it out? I mean, you may not like, I don't like at the end of the day, it's going to cost me more money to have as good or better a seat than I've got now.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand everything goes up and you can't have an $8 million coach and not go up on the prices. That's just, you can't have a $10 million roster and not go up. I get all of that.
I think
it's sometimes how the message is delivered. Has Hunter Yurachek done a good job delivering the message of his intentions when it comes to season ticket holders, their donation, and the cost of doing business?
Based on the text that I've received from actual season ticket holders, because there are people that have texted in that don't buy season tickets, and then the ones that have, like I just received one that from a guy that's paid for courtside seats since the building was open, and his donation doubled. And he can't afford that anymore. So he feels like he's angered.
I'm not asking if you're angry about the decision. I'm asking, has Hunter Yurachek done a good job of communicating the message?
I don't think
those are two separate things.
I don't think the University of Arkansas as a whole, and we're going to talk to Mark and Fayetteville and a couple other callers and texters coming up in just a bit. I don't know what the new method should be, but just like sending out one email, I mean, I don't know if it's push to text. I don't know if it's a personal call. I just don't feel like that it's ever communicated to the fullest extent and as personal as it needs to be when you have people that are spending upwards of now soon to be 40 plus grand a year. Now I realize that certain donors get coaxed and massaged more than others because of the amount of money they give.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't feel to me that it's personal. It feels as if, hey, this is the new policy, abide by it or kick rocks, pound sand. That's the sense. So I guess my thing would be on the question you just asked is find a way to make it more personal. People love Z. People love Quinn. People love Norm. Those are several guys right there that work in the foundation. You've got to find a way.
But the buck doesn't stop with those guys.
Yeah, it doesn't. But you've got to find a way to utilize them as much as you can where they're communicating directly to your.
And I bet they have.
But
we're not on that list.
Yeah, and it's not.
Me and you aren't on that
from
list.
the communication standpoint, that's who I would utilize more if I was Hunter Yurchek and make it as personal as possible.
But he's the face. He's the tip of the spear. He has to be the one, driving the message. And it's hard to make it personal when you're trying to communicate to the entire fan base.
Here's the question that every Arkansas fans ask when it comes to a situation like this or a situation under Jeff Long, is what would Frank do? Everyone asks that. So I get that. Well, Frank would have done this. Frank would have done that. Well, Frank wasn't directing athletics in the time that we currently are, so that may have worked in. I don't know what he would have done now. So I'll ask you.
He'd have done what it took to win. He wouldn't have liked it because he didn't like raising prices. One thing I feel certain Frank Broyles would have done because of the era he was raised in, is he would have pinched every penny he could to not have to go up. But if he knew that these were the rules and this is what you had to do to compete, then I think he would have done it. He didn't operate in that era like that.
I want to say this, and this isn't necessary before we get to these calls. That's a good question to ask. And what do you think at 877-377-6963? It is hard for me, whether it's Sam Pittman, whether it's John Calipari. I haven't really. Dave's talked about it a little bit. Hunter's making 1.5. Sam's making what, 6.5 now? Is it less than that?
Right around 6.
Okay,
but 5. He had that escalation.
Cal's making 7 or 8. I don't know Dave's off the top of my head. And I'm not saying they're
1 point something.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're overpaid or anything. I'm just saying it is hard for fans when these guys are making millions upon millions of dollars to wrap their head around that, like someone that's making $60K or 100, or even $100K, even in the 6-figure range, that, hey, this is still being put to me. This is still my job in NIL. That's just hard for fans to get over, and I don't blame them one bit. That's the complaint. Well, Hunter's making 1.5.
Right. But again, that's why I asked the question.
Personal.
Has he done a good job of communicating the message and the intention?
50-50. I still think that you've got to find a way to make it more personal. That's why I'm not in athletics, because there's always complaints like there is on sports radio, I guess, to a certain degree. But I'd say, what do you think?
I think he's done. I mean, I hear you about making it more personal. I don't know how you do a mass communication and make it personal. I think there's a lot of detail that goes into it. It took some time to read that entire email and go all the way through it, top to bottom.
It took me 10 minutes.
So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff, and you didn't retain all that. I promise you. I can tell by the way you're talking this morning. You didn't retain all of it.
I don't have a photographic memory. Sometimes it goes. I know this is surprising for you, but some things go in and some things go right.
You're thinking about the next thing instead of reading what you're supposed to be reading.
Well, I
think he's done a good job of not surprising and not blindsiding anyone. No one should be surprised by the email yesterday. This has been something that
they've talked about for a while. All right, that is your Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily Question. So we've been talking about them for a while. Christian and Nate do a great job in Northwest Arkansas with the best indoor golf facility. That's just not my opinion. You listened to Gavin earlier this week. Ryan in Hot Springs called in. Their friends, their family, they've gone. They've had a great time. CartPassSocial.com, 122 Grant Place in Lowell, BYOB. At Cart Pass Social. Mark's been patiently waiting for about 15 minutes. Mark, your thoughts on kind of what we've been discussing this morning?
Hey, guys. I don't think he's done a very good job at anything. I'm sorry. I mean, look, we got a football coach making, $6.5 million with a losing record. You go down to section 1 to him.
Say that again, Mark.
Mark, we're having trouble hearing you.
You dropped out.
It's like your Bluetooth's out or something.
Okay, hold on. Let me change this here. Okay, can you hear me now?
Oh,
That's
perfect.
way better.
Much better.
Hey, word to the wise. If you ever call us, put your phone next to your face.
Yeah.
It's always better than Bluetooth or anything else.
Okay. Section 110's livid. Okay, when Bud Walton was built back in 94, every game was not televised, and Bud Walton was full. We've got one of the best coaches in the country now, and Bud Walton has not been full yet this season.
Mm-hmm.
So, in my mind, you better be careful what you wish for. You look what Texas did. They had the Super Drum that seated 20 grand. Their arena now seats 10,000. Auburn did the same thing. They reduced the size of their arena because they see, hey, there's no way we can fill these mega arenas up anymore due to the fact that all of the games are televised. Number two, Arkansas is a poor state. And there's still a bitter taste in a lot of people's mouths from what they did to them in baseball. On the bottom line, let's face it, corporations have bought a lot of those baseball tickets.
Mm-hmm.
I go to baseball games. A lot of times there's nobody in those seats.
Yep.
So, I mean, be careful what you wish for. I was there when Stan Heath was losing. I was there when Pelfrey was losing. I was there. I didn't miss a game. I was there when Heath was there, and we yelled across the stadium at our buddy, hey, let's go meet at Farrell's for a beer. This is boring. You could yell across the stadium. So you're taking the loyalty factor totally out of it. When you take the human factor out of it, and it's all about the money, you've got a major problem. And like I said, come down to section 110, row 2, and take a poll. People aren't mad, they're livid.
You look,
Mark, thanks for the call. Yeah,
that's kind of.
Thanks, guys.
Mark, appreciate it. He looks like he's got right behind the goal.
Yeah,
I'm looking at his seats right now.
Good
Robert's in Fayetteville. Robert, go ahead.
Hello.
Hey, Robert.
Hey, guys. My thing is, I don't think that Yurichek's been transparent enough to where you could be more informed, because a letter getting sent to you, well, you owe us $10,000 this year. I think if he had like a meeting, like over the computer or at Bud Walton or somewhere, and I know you're not going to get all these fans, but at least give them a vision and explain the vision and how we're going to get to the vision and what we're using and what we're doing, with money and all those type of things. They're not going to be happy, but I think you would accept it a lot better.
Yeah,
like a seminar or something.
Do a
we can
Zoom.
hop
Open
on a
Zoom call.
Yeah, I'm sure that would go over smooth. Thanks, Robert.
All right.
Philip's in Bentonville. Philip, go ahead.
Good morning, guys. Guys, to me, it has nothing to do. I think it doesn't matter what he does. I think that there's got to be a better product on the field. And let me tell you why I think that. Let's go back to Jeff Long when Bobby Petrino was sitting there, and Jeff Long went into and wanted to expand the stadium. Okay, people were grumbling, but that season that he requested all the money, what did the football team do? That's the year that they went to the Sugar Bowl. Okay, well, everybody was like, oh, okay, yeah, we got to do it because, hey, this team is great. We're doing great. They could see the vision and wanted to grow, and people didn't grumble. On the baseball, I'm gonna be honest with you. To me, it's the fans that are the older people, that are grumbling about it. Me personally, I've done it. You're gonna have to produce more. I think it's the time that he's trying to roll this out. The football team has not done good. Mm-hmm. The basketball team's not done good. Why would I want to go and Kraft? You're probably there with me as a kid and stuff like this. Why would I want to go? And I'll give you, for example, football game. Why would I want to go spend $65 on a deal, or go up and spend $35, $45 for a ticket, and then roll over there with my kids and spend another $30 to $40 on concession?
Yeah, Philip, I hear you, because
you get drilled by 35.
Yeah, I mean, when it's easier than ever to buy seats on a game-to-game basis. Hey, if you're craving something sweet and delicious, head over to Andy's Frozen Custards, Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, 2 locations in Conway, JFK Boulevard in North Little Rock. Also, download the Andy's app from the Apple app or Google Play Store. Walk up or drive through. They're ready to serve you at Andy's Frozen Custards, Fort Smith, Conway, and in North Little Rock.
All right, we got hour 2 coming up. We'll get Tom Murphy's thoughts as we get going. What does he think about this whole discussion?
When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
479-782-3936.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Robert.
And this is Elizabeth, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
Folks, it's that time of year again.
Mom, what's he talking about?
Matt, I have no idea.
It's hoop time, and in about a month, it's going to be baseball season.
And the Stadium Shop has everything you need.
Whether it's decorating your fan cave or getting something to wear for the game, we have what you need.
We even have Nike basketball jerseys, sideline apparel, even brands like Cutter and Buck and Champion.
Or how about something from Tommy Bahama or Coliseum for those Hawaiian shirt Sundays?
Guys, Nike baseball team hats and jerseys will get here about the 1st of February. Hey, Matt, do you know what's blue but doesn't weigh very much?
No, what?
Light blue.
Mom, please help.
Matt, there's no cure for a dad joke.
Folks, come by the Stadium Shop located at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baum-Walker Stadium, or shop us on them Insta WW book.
Dad, it's
Facebook.
the website, which is shoponrazorback.com. That's shoponrazorback.com.
Or call us at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go
Hogs.
This is The Morning Rush.
Hi, folks. Larry
Thanks for
Hatcher.
watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football to NBA, college basketball to NHL and UFC, BetOnline is your number one sports betting source for the new year. From every touchdown to three-pointer and hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Fan. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
One call, cleans it all.
Eat Lux your way with the new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. The $5 Classic box is iconic all over. The $7 Supreme box has your decadent favorites and then some. The $9 Discovery box introduces you to your newest obsession, like cheesy dipping burritos. Introducing the new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes, only at Taco Bell.
In every generation, there are those who question the status quo. Questions like, why can't chicken be slow roasted? Why can't I have shredded purple cabbage? Why can't my quesadilla have cheese inside and out? And where's my avocado verde salsa? The new era of chicken is here to stay. The Cantina Chicken Menu, only at Taco Bell.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates,
Showers and thunderstorms will be with us throughout the day. We could see some very heavy downpours, especially across the south, where some folks could pick up 2 to 3 inches of rain today. A high this afternoon will be in the upper 50s, north mid 60s south. Wet weather will start to wind down late tonight, overnight lows in the 40s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
the weather is brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today. KERX, Paris Fort Smith.
Hey, we can't make you a morning person, but we can make your mornings.
ESPN 95.3. This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light, brewed with the best barley, rice, water, and hops to be America's favorite light beer. Bud Light, please drink responsibly.
Burn it down.
This is the Morning Rush.
Feel like the majority of our listeners in the first hour want to burn down the athletics department after that email yesterday. Is that Tucker Wetmore?
Huh?
Westmore? Is that Tucker Westmore?
No, wasn't that George Strait there?
I thought it was Garth.
Who'd you say that was? Parker McCollum?
Parker McCollum, who, by the way, is not good live. I don't know if Laura likes him, but he's...
No, she hates country music.
Okay. What does she listen to?
Alt rock.
Nice. So she's cool. Rock. She was actually cool. Well, she is cool, but I'm saying, like, in her past life, she was probably cool.
So we're not cool.
No, I just, like, she's got some coolness factor about her that I wasn't aware of.
Yeah. If you haven't downloaded Bet Saracen, be sure and get that done. Super Bowl's coming up, and they'll have all the lines, odds, everything you need. It's the sports. It's the lines we always look at. We'll be looking at the college basketball weekend coming up. What do you figure Arkansas will be? 11, 12-point favorite, or underdog, rather. Kentucky be a 10, 11, 12-point favorite?
Yeah, I would say around double digits.
Yeah, we'll find out tomorrow during our Fence Man picks as we'll give you the lines from Bet Saracen. Valentine's Day coming up. Have you booked reservations? Have you figured out a plan? If not, let me help you out here. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sody's in Fort Smith has a lot of great stuff planned for you to enjoy the Valentine's weekend that's coming up. And now's the time to go to uncorkthefort.com and book your reservation. Valentine's Day, they're going to have a great evening that you can take your sweetheart to, a very special a la carte menu crafted by Chef Jazz for this wonderful evening, a wonderful event. Enjoy the sounds of Nikki Waters playing on Valentine's Day evening as well. Then, this is really cool. You can treat your significant other and her group of friends to the Galentine's brunch the next day on Saturday the 15th, a special brunch menu to experience with your best gal pals. You can do that. So, that's what you do is you take your significant other out to Uncorked on Friday, then you send her back there with her friends on Saturday morning while you and the boys go play golf. So a photo wall will be perfect for the Galentine selfies as well. They'll have that. So
Scott and his team will never be busier.
Yeah.
Than
they got a
Saturday.
And then on Sunday, Chef's Sunday afternoon, they're going to have a special thing going on Sunday the 16th. Chef Jazz is putting together as well. Let me tell you a little bit more about that while I can. My phone will zoom in here. In honor of Black History Month, they're going to have a live DJ. They're going to have soul food menu and a bar menu consisting of black-owned and libations. So check all of that out and do that on Sunday. Very special Sunday hours on the 16th. So something going on the 14th, 15th, and 16th on Valentine's weekend at Uncorked, Phoenix Avenue, next to Sody's in Fort Smith.
This hour of the Morning Rush is presented by Mach 1 Financial. Mach 1 Financial Group, LLC is a registered investment advisor located in Rogers, Arkansas. For full disclosures, visit mach-1financial.com/disclosures.
I've got a text from my father, who's in South Arkansas right now. We were talking earlier this week about the Real ID documents, Tommy,
Yeah.
that you need, and he's apparently going to get those to me. So I know we had a whole hullabaloo about what I needed to take advantage. Which you need by May 7th. Let's go over this again for our listeners. By May the 7th, if you wish to fly domestically across the United States, you need this real ID.
Or a passport.
Apparently, it's been spoken about for 5 years, and I just wonder where. So I guess the United States.
I know that's shocking to everyone.
Communication wasn't good on that.
I think everybody in the world knew they had to have a real ID except
did
you.
Tom Murphy know as we bring him now? Whole Hog Sports Arkansas.
Tom already. I would bet money Tom already has his real ID.
Tom, I know you drive a lot, and you've had some legendary road trips over the years. But do we got this real ID ready for May the 7th?
Hi guys, it's always a pleasure to join you and whatever antics you guys are up to.
Yeah,
I am aware of it. I have hip younger kids, and I asked them, "Hey," I showed them my ID one day, and they said, "Yeah, you're good." But I had no idea it was about to go into effect, so you got me there.
Today's not a good hair day for me. I don't know if you do this, Tommy, and Tom, I don't know if you do this, or Colton. When I know there's rain in the forecast, I don't do my hair in the morning. I just let the rain take care of it.
You and my wife are the only people I think I've ever heard say that.
It takes care of it. So you don't have to I have to pat mine down and comb and do some other stuff. Tom, I don't know if you do that, but I just let the rain take care of it. Do you do that, Tom? You don't, based on your response, Tommy.
I shower and then I brush it and then I'm done for the day.
Yeah, that's kind of how most men do it.
Well, that's a man's shower right there. It's not even having. I just slap on some deodorant and let God's nature take care of my hair as far as that's concerned.
You think you are Matthew McConaughey or something?
As best I can. Tom, talking about communication, evidently the United States did not do a good job communicating to me that we needed this real ID. Luckily, Tommy filled me in. Tommy asked a good question, hour one, about Hunter's communication towards fans and the reseeding Bud Walton. Do you think the athletics department, foundation, and Hunter have done a good job explaining and telling fans what's to come with the reseeding of Bud Walton Arena?
They did. I mean, I remember at the very front end, I got a tip from somebody, might have been early last week, and they were outraged, but I'm not sure they had the full picture of it. You know, they thought a certain thing, it was going to take this much money to be at this level, and that wasn't what it was. But I think they've done a good job communicating. And Matt Jones did a really good story for the Hog Sports and for us today that, you know, it lists in there. This is the first major, massive, seat deal since the arena was built. And there was a quote in there from the Razorback Foundation guy about what it means to the fans, because you always want to put it in the terms of how are the fans going to accept this and what will they think. And he quoted the Oklahoma State AD Weiberg, and it was that, look, there's two ways to look at this. We do it now and do it the best we can, or if we don't, if we slow play this 10 years from now, are we going to look back and say we made a major mistake? And you have sports that are really struggling to keep up. So to me, that put it in perspective. And I mean, I've got people in a generation above me that are just so upset about NIL, the current state of the game, and they're done with it. They see a roster of maybe mercenary type people, and it just makes them mad. But that's the way the game is now, and you're in the SEC, and if you don't play that game, you are behind.
Well, and on that subject, Tom, some of the responses I get is, well, I don't trust Hunter to make the right financial decision. I don't trust Sam Pittman, even if we give him enough NIL money to get us to wherever we want to get. Unfortunately for John Calipari, who apparently had the highest share of NIL pool, it hasn't panned out for them. So do you understand that, like, the sense of concern that, okay, well, they're asking us for more money, but how do I know that they're going to make the best of it? I mean, with great power comes great responsibility. To much is asked, much is expected. I mean, do you get that sense of fans that they're being asked a lot, but how do they know they're going to get anything in return for it in terms of wins?
Yeah, it's a mixed sense. I mean, Hunter is the AD for a reason. He was hired there. He's a quite effective communicator and so on. But anyway, you have to have some level of trust to do the process. And it is very complicated. I mean, you've just listed that John Calipari has perhaps the biggest war chest for NIL. The roster didn't come together, right? Or just, the way the components aren't put together and functioning the way they expected them to. And some other teams that may not have near the NIL, mid-majors or whatever, are prospering right now. So there's so many dynamics to play into it. You look at Sam Pittman's track record in the portal with the transfer guys, they've done pretty good. They've restocked their roster really nice the last 2 or 3 years with competitive players. Some of them have stuck around for a while, like Landon Jackson, who've been, good institutional guys. And so there's no reason not to trust that there's a Stephen Dix's and Xavier Sories from the class that they just signed. And then they've got to keep up the high school recruiting, obviously. But, I mean, these guys have their jobs at the U of A. They're functioning for the U of A. And if you're fans, you go with the flow or you make other decisions.
Tom Murphy with us, brought to you by or this morning with us on a Thursday morning here on the Morning Rush. Tom, I think the other side of the coin on this, we saw it some with baseball, and people wonder what's the motivation other than just more money for the university? You've also got, and I don't think it's a huge group, but you do have some donors and season ticket holders that are giving 5, 10, 15, 20, 25,000, whatever, because they have the seats they want in football, but then they can't get access to decent seats in basketball, or maybe no seats at all in baseball. At some point, if you don't reseat, those that are even given the money to be on the waiting list will never get in if you don't make some changes. That's one of the issues the university's trying to fight through here.
Really is. There's just so many dynamics, and it's not easy. I mean, the economy the last few years haven't been easy for anybody. And so this isn't easy. It's all about the choices you make and balancing what you are prepared to spend on entertainment and support of a program versus what you need to spend on other things. So every family obviously has to make their own decisions. And at the U of A, I mean, it's just the price of doing business has gone up, and they have to make up this basically $25 million that they're going to have to spend extra between revenue sharing and then adding additional scholarships.
Yeah, and there's no way to go through this process without angering people.
Right.
No one likes to have their cost go up for something they enjoy. And I assume if you're buying season tickets, it's because you enjoy the experience of going to a game. You enjoy the entertainment. You may not enjoy the record of the basketball team this year, but you enjoy the experience of being in Bud Walton Arena. No one wants you to put your hand in their wallet because everyone else is right now. So I don't know how Hunter or anyone else could go through this process and not have an expected amount of what I would think is overwhelming pushback.
Yep. And I'm sure they understood that and they knew, and that's why they try to explain it the best they can. And putting out there that, or the white guy with the Razorback Foundation told Matt that, comparatively speaking, Arkansas tickets, you look across the board in the SEC, they're not way up there near the max. So, hey, man, I think U of A administrators understand the nature of the state, the base income and that kind of stuff, and act accordingly. And you're right. I do think there's an experience you get out of it too. Hey, I was at the game, and then you see your friends at the game, and it's a social event as well. So, are they pricing some people out? Probably. So, but I mean, you just have to make those choices.
So, Tommy made a good point about like fans that do contribute a good amount of money and still not being able to get basketball tickets. Tom, you said something there that you think the administration does a good job of understanding the entire state, and I feel like sometimes that, and it's not always the case, and it's hard because they don't live all over the state, but they're almost in a Northwest Arkansas bubble at times. And they may hear about fans complaining and not having enough money and not whatnot, but if they're getting it from somewhere, if they're getting it from a bunch of corporations that are in Northwest Arkansas, I don't think they really care because their bills are still being paid. They're still making the revenue needed to function. So that's where I go back and forth on this. Sometimes I think they understand. Frankly, sometimes I don't think they fully, because they're just not around low economy Arkansans every single day. It's just not the same thing being in that NWA bubble.
Well, I mean, you're parsing down to every individual, And so everyone has to make that decision. I don't know what their contact might be like with lower income folks, but if you're not making a certain amount financially on the yearly, it may be a tough decision for you if you wanted to. You might have to do walk-up tickets here and there.
See, here's the question. We haven't asked this yet. If you're a season ticket holder and you're contemplating having to upgrade the amount of money you're spending on this, are you betting on Cal? Are you betting on this thing to turn around? From a regular season standpoint, he's had two bad regular seasons in 5 years. They weren't good coming out of COVID, and they're not good this year. The other three, they're really solid. They might have even won the regular season tournament or regular season one these years. But Tom, if you're a fan and you're a potential season ticket holder, or you a current one, are you betting on John Calipari that he's going to turn this thing around and beat out those that are opposing him right now and saying he's washed?
Well, that's a great question. I'm watching the Mississippi State-Alabama game last night and looking at how both of them are functioning offensively and thinking, wow, that's different than what I watched in the OU-Arkansas game.
Yeah.
So wide open. The ball movement is so fast. Alabama must have some rule, don't hold the ball longer than 2 seconds. I mean, just bam, bam, bam. So fast with the ball. It was a very entertaining game. But Cal's they're in on these big recruits. They have the war chest to recruit the NIL. It's just a matter of the parts falling in place. And will the coaching staff have to adapt? Perhaps so. But also, they are creating some open shots, and they're not falling to the percentage of time that they need to.
2 weeks 2 weeks from tomorrow, baseball season will open. And Tom, I know a lot of people are excited about Dave Van Horn's club and seeing this season get underway. I don't know if you plan to be at the ballpark that first weekend, but baseball, probably more than any other sport, has its own group of the diehard fans. And, I think they're, obviously everyone's excited, but I think it's always a fun time around our state when baseball rolls back around, and we're going to get it 2 weeks from tomorrow.
You hit that head on, man. Go to one Swatters Club meeting and you'll understand. People believe in Dave Van Horn. And here's what I really love about him, and I wish every coach could adopt this, and they just can't. It's not within their personality. He just tells you how he's feeling. He just tells you what's going on to the extent he can, and it makes you feel, as a fan, part of the program when you know this pitcher had mono, or you know what I mean, this guy's dealing with this, or whatever, and he explains it all, and it's so refreshing. In all my years in this industry, going to a Dave Van Horn press conference or a talk is so enlightening. He's usually in a good mood and cracking jokes and just fun to be around, and boy, I sure appreciate him, and I know the fans do.
Tom, we'll leave it there, man. Good stuff. We'll chat on Tuesday. Man, I hope they win Saturday night so we can have a fun conversation then.
All right, sounds good, guys. See ya.
What would you give right now? Now, I know, again, these wins maybe mean a little bit more to me. My entire life is predicated around Arkansas sports. As a family man, it's a little less on that. As a guy that's so even-keeled, what would you actually give? Would you give up golf for a month if they won, or 2 months?
No. Lord, no.
You're not a real fan then.
Well, what am I going to do the other 59 days if I give up golf for 60 of them for one win? Would you? The answer is no.
I would.
All right. You'll make that bet?
No,
I'm not giving it
going
up.
to make the bet because there's a small piece of me,
Yeah.
the positive piece of me
Yeah.
that thinks that Cal's going to win on
Yeah.
Saturday. I say Cal, the team. We keep acting
If
like
I bet the other side of that, what do I get? You love to make these bets where if I lose, you win. If you win,
nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
That's very tie. That's very tie of me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very much like the federal government. Heads or tails, I win either way. Heads I win, tails you lose.
You get the pleasure of my company, which is enough of a bet that you won every single day from not just 9 to 11.
Boy, am I so lucky.
The time that we spend outside of that together.
Hey, speaking about money, the market has its ups and downs and constant breaking news going on right now. It's easy to let emotions take over when you're investing. That's why Mach 1 Financial Group brings you the Market Moment, a weekly podcast where their advisors break down the latest financial headlines and what really matters for investors. How do your current events impact your portfolio? Get the insights you need. Tune in every Tuesday for a fresh episode of the Market Moment podcast. You can also find the podcast episodes at market-moment.com. Tune in to get your financial questions answered. Mach 1 Financial Group, LLC is a registered investment advisor. They're in Rogers, Arkansas. Get all the full disclosures at disclosures.mach1fg.com.
So I did something dumb yesterday. For the first 6 months of living in my house, there was nothing in my fridge with the exception of a few condiments and steak and eggs. And I switched up this week and I bought shrimp. And I opened the package earlier this week and then left it in the refrigerator, kind of, I guess it was half open or whatever. So now my fridge and my kitchen just smells like raw.
Well, why didn't you leave them in the freezer? That's the dumb part, right?
Yeah,
that's what you're telling.
That's the dumb part, amongst other things that I, again, continuously do wrong and everything else. But this house thing, it's like a learn, and that should be something I've known from like 6 or 7. But this house thing is a work in progress, like everything else.
Yeah.
Back to about the season ticket thing. Let me ask you that same question I asked Tom. Cal's now going to have 2 seasons in 5 years where they stunk, regular season. 1 NCAA tournament win in 5 years. You know I'm going to be in pain and hell the next 3 or 4 years if this thing doesn't get going like I think it's going to. But I think that's a realistic question fans are asking. Is like, hey, when Cal comes in, you weren't exactly like you didn't love him all of a sudden necessarily, but you're like, okay, this guy's going to win. But I think that's a legitimate question you ask. And I'm not pulling things out of thin air or anything like that. I'm looking at what's happened in college sports the last 5 years, and you talk about people have caught up to Cal, and I think about where Alabama is. Tom referenced the Alabama-Mississippi State, what Chris Jans has done in Starkville. Ole Miss, they won last night. Chris Beard's a really good coach. The coaching level, which Cal has talked about before, has risen exponentially in the SEC. And I just wonder, like, can this old dog, who hopefully has some bark left in him and a bite left in him, can he do some new tricks? Because lately, he hadn't won.
Mm-hmm.
And now these Kentucky fans are laughing at you. And I hope, like I just said, I hope they win on Saturday night. But you got to ask yourself, either as a season ticket holder, as a fan, and I'm not presenting World War III or anything like that, but what I'm asking you legitimately is, does this guy, can he coach in today's climate of college basketball?
Two things, and I'll come back. Let me answer that in a minute. But 2 things are happening, I think, right now amongst our fan base. A, we way underestimated the quality of this league this year.
That's true. Yep.
And number 2, our expectations were 38-0 or whatever. We didn't think there would ever be a loss. Coach Cal's here. We're going to win it all. We're going undefeated. Watch out, Indiana. I mean, I think that's what people thought. They were never going to lose a game with John Calipari at the helm.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not sitting here trying to present the case that 1-6 is anywhere near expectations or acceptable. But what should the record be right now through 7 games?
They should have beat LSU. They should have split Florida and Tennessee. They should have beat Oklahoma. So that's what, 3? And they won the Georgia game. So they should be 4-3. Right?
Okay. So I'm not sitting here saying that, hey, they're just fine where they're at. So don't mishear me. But how far off of realistic expectations are they? When you look at this league right now in Tennessee,
3 game, yeah,
who's in the top 10s at 4-4 in the league,
who was at one point number 1, as we pointed out.
I'm with you. They should be 4-3, 3-4, I guess, at the worst. And but I think our expectations were, well, they'll be no worse than 6-1 at this point. They'll be no worse than 7-1, or they're gonna win 12, 13, 14 conference games. After and that was preseason. We get to the season. Well, maybe they're 9-9, maybe they're 10-8. And I just don't think they were as good as we thought. But I think this league's a lot better. But they're about 2 to 3 games right now off of realistic expectations.
So on that note,
but to hear the story, you would think, I think the expectations were just way off mark.
Okay.
And me included.
Okay, so let's recalibrate for a second. If you want to jump in here, do so at 877-377-6963. Now that we know where the SEC is, now that we've seen, unfortunately, about half a season or at least more than half a season, half a conference season, basically. Do you recalibrate what you think he could do here? Or is this just like so one season, chuck it out the window? Because, again, what I look at is the last 4.5.
What's his biggest mistake so far?
The 9 guys.
Is that fixable?
Yeah.
Not this year, but is that fixable moving forward?
Is it 9 guys only, or is it 2 or 3 of those 9 guys that we got that that have been total
That's a better
misses
question.
to this point? Misses to that point.
That's an even better question.
That's a good, that was a point
So,
well made.
but my point are the big flaws are not fatal. These are things that can be changed for next year's team. Now, they're fatal for this season.
Mm-hmm.
They're issues that can't be overcome now. But these aren't like, well, the program will never be right as long as he's at the helm, because these, those are things he already knows it. He knew it before we knew it. He knew it before the season even started. Boy, he ain't gonna come out and tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna try to make what he has work. So I think the issues that are affecting this year's team can be fixed, will be fixed.
It'll be
before next year.
It'll be interesting to see who comes back this next season. You got 3 incoming freshmen: Springdale kid Isaiah Seeley, Darius Acuff, and Malik Thomas, and who else he adds additionally in terms of who else comes back.
All right, couple quick notes for the weekend. If you're going to watch the game and you're not headed or you're headed out Saturday night, I know it's going to be a later start. Joe's Grill and Cantina, they're going to have the half-price apps and taps. With a late start, maybe you go and you eat some appetizers late, have a late dinner, then you stay through halftime or whatever. But beers on tap, half-price appetizers for the late game Saturday night. Arkansas and Kentucky. Watch it at Joe's Grill and Cantina on South 74th Street across from Harps and Fort Smith. Maybe you're looking for something to do this weekend. Oaklawn will be there and ready for racing. They've had a huge weekend of stakes races. In fact, you think about the big weekends in racing leading up to the Kentucky Derby. They're all at Oaklawn. Last weekend was the Southwest Stakes. This coming month, we'll see the Rebel Stakes on February 22nd, and then the Arkansas Derby is on March 29th. Download the Oaklawn Anywhere app. Use the promo code RUSH25 for a $150 sign-up bonus. With that, you get points that you can earn for every dollar wagered that are good for cash back, free past performances, and free access to valuable handicapping selections to help you win even more. It's the Oaklawn Anywhere app. Download it in your app store. Use the promo code RUSH25 for a $150 sign-up bonus.
What happened in the SEC last night, we'll tell you in our SEC update coming up on the Morning Rush.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here and hitthatline.com.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
I don't know why I keep coming in here every morning when I could be fishing.
This is the Morning Rush.
Hi, folks. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meinke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. Whether you're buying a car, selling a car, or taking care of a car, we've got you. Be sure to follow us on Facebook to see how you can take advantage of $1,000 your way on select road-ready certified used cars with warranty, as well as buy 3, get 1 free on all tires in our Meinke Car Care Center. Start your new year right. Call, click, or come by today and see why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
Wes, how many people can a large pizza feed?
About 4.
So I should tell Cousin Jeff 1.
Oh, wow. He's a big eater.
The biggest. He once got kicked out of an all-you-can-eat diner because they ran out of food. How many can a small pizza feed?
I'd say 2.
Our small pizza at $15 is a meal for 2? We should advertise this. That goat'll hunt.
Dog.
What you call me?
That dog will hunt.
Wes, dogs are man's best friend. Goats are the true hunters.
Goats?
Billy Goat Jr.'s Grammy was trained to chase squirrels, cats, birds, and rabbits. We could hear her for miles through the brush. And she'd circle them right to us.
You're not serious.
As serious as a meal for 2 for $15.
You're an interesting cat.
What you call me?
A meal for 2 for $15. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
I doubt you thought paint was anything like football, right? So you've got a favorite football team. Your painting team at the paint store in Van Buren gets you a solid primer, the perfect color, and a durable defense. That is what you want, right? Our team of Richards Paint and expertise always win for you. Whether contractor or do-it-yourself, we have the best team. The paint store in Van Buren. Go Hogs!
AAA Business Systems is your printer, copier, and production print solutions provider. What makes AAA unique? Ricoh, Sharp, and Brother equipment. Fast, friendly service from our office technology experts. All-inclusive service contracts, managed IT services, and 4 locations statewide. AAA Business Systems. Find us online at AAABM.com. AAA Business Systems. Anything else is just a copy.
Life is loud, chaotic, hilarious, and occasionally peaceful. Your life fits you, so why settle for life insurance that fits someone else? At Shelter Insurance, our local agents help you design a personal protection plan backed by award-winning customer service. We're your shield. We're your shelter. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howe in Van Buren.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina, your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, 10-layer dip, brisket nachos, and Mexican pizza. And ask about Joe's tailgate packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Except we've got SEC finals. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
I know BBN, man. I just know our fan base, and I know there's going to be so much emotion because we care so much. So there'll be so much emotion in the gym on Saturday. And as time goes on, and circumstances change, there's going to be a time when Cal walks back into this arena and he is going to feel all of the love that BBN possibly has to offer, because that's what we do with our family. Saturday is going to be, it's also a competition, right? So it's just going to be what it is. But I have a ton of love for Cal, and I'm grateful for what he did here at Kentucky, and I'm grateful that I get to be here and enjoy some of the fruits of his incredible labors here.
That's Mark Pope on his coach's show earlier this week, talking about Cal coming back. And yes, he will have love. He will have adulation at some point in Rupp Arena. Won't be on Saturday night. I don't think there's any question about that. It was interesting that the fan, Tommy, had called in prior to that, and it was one of the few fans that was like, we should give him respect, we should clap, and we could cheer. And there are some Kentucky fans that feel that way, very much so about Cal, but I just don't think that's going to showcase itself Saturday night.
He delivered Final Fours. He delivered a national championship. He made he continued to keep your relevance and restore the relevance that had been lost. I know the end didn't go as fruitful as you wanted, but he was pretty salty for 15 years and kept you at the top of the game. So, I expect them to boo, but they probably shouldn't boo. But that's not what's going to happen.
The only comparison,
and it isn't going to bother him.
I don't think Kentucky. You might have to help me on this. Maybe this is a better question for Clay. When Coach Sutton left for Kentucky, Arkansas didn't ever play them, right? Like there was.
I'd have to go back and look and see if there were any tournament game, but it obviously wasn't a conference game.
Colton, look that up for me. Because I don't think they played. The only comparison I think about that has made reference on this show is Houston Nutt.
Well,
and that's not the same caliber.
It was the crawl over broken glass, crawl to get to Kentucky comment that sticks with people still to this day.
Yeah, that still are fans of that setup. But I again, I always try when stuff happens in the SEC with other fan bases, and this is, of course, close to home because it's the head basketball coach here in Fayetteville. I try to make comparisons to, hey, how would Arkansas fans react? And that's the Houston Nutt one. I think is the only one that is an example that we can at least wrap our heads around when it comes to something like this. SEC games last night. Auburn got another win. They're still undefeated in the SEC, Tommy, 87-74 on the road at LSU. Bama goes into Starkville, gets a 4-point win. Big win for them. And then Ole Miss finally bounces back. They beat Texas by 3 inside of the Pavilion. So those were some of the games last night and everything else. Again, Auburn atop, Alabama right behind them with only one loss. 2 Alabama schools, Tommy, when they play each other for the 2 games this season, that is fun. That's going to be
some exciting finishes that came down to the last 10 seconds. I don't know if you were watching the end of the Mississippi State and Alabama game, but well inside 30 seconds, they missed a wide open layup that should have just been a dunk. I don't know why he didn't dunk it. That would have changed the way the fight. I don't know if that would have sealed victory, but it would have went a long ways for Mississippi State. And Chris Jans was. I'm not sure if he's mad at the refs, if he was mad at his players, just mad at all of it last night at home to lose the game in the fashion they did. They had their chances to win last night.
I think for me, national, and I don't even know if Tennessee, I could still put them in that category based on what's going on. I mean, right now, you probably only feel like solid about Auburn or Alabama getting to a Final Four national championship. Florida, I guess, is close.
I don't know how you feel solid about anyone in the.
Yeah, that's true. I guess at the NCAA tournament,
the tournament's still a roll of the dice, so to speak. All right, that's your SEC update. It's brought to you by APAC and Standard Materials Group. If you're looking for a turnkey solution for your construction project, APAC and Standard Material Group is Northwest Arkansas's #1 provider of aggregates, asphalt, and ready-mix concrete. And if you need more than just materials, APAC can help you by doing surveying, engineering, construction, drone capabilities, trucking, and logistics, all under one roof. Call 479-587-3300 to get started. 479-587-3300 for APAC and Standard Materials Group.
Let's jump back into the topic that is the most polarizing this morning. Had a chance to listen to Hunter Yurchek on Chuck and Bo. Gave comments. You can listen to it on hitthatline.com or our YouTube channel as well. And he talked about the ticket quantity and reducing it for big donors.
One of the things that I think is missed in this, we've reduced the quantity that our top-end donors can now acquire to allow more of our lower-end donors to get into the mix and acquire some seats.
You think about the setup now with the, Broyles Matthew Diamond, which is 14 tickets and 3 parking passes. I want to say it was 16. The Broyles Matthew Platinum, which is anywhere from 20 to 40 grand. It's 10 tickets and 2 parking passes. And I'm getting text in from Matt this morning. And he's mad. I understand it because he's had a certain allotment of tickets for a number of years. And I think it was a 10 grand donation he's getting. And there are tickets that are being, quote unquote, taken away from the amount of money he spent versus what he actually gets. I think the communication, not just what is happening, but that's more of what we've hit on. And Tommy, based on the calls that we've gotten from various people like Matt and Philip and some others this morning, the text we've received, that is an area that they don't feel like the U of A has done the best of job. But I go back to what I said earlier. I pointed out some potential ideas and things you could do. I just feel like they're going to get criticized in anything they do. It's just
when you ask people for more money to get less in some cases, like you're pointing out, it's not going to make very many people happy. They give you the dues now because really by March 31st, you kind of got to be in or out and make your pledge known. And the pledge deadline's the 31st. Then on April 1, men's basketball season ticket request forms will be sent to season ticket holders. Foundation members will also get those via email and through your online account with the foundation. June 30th is the final deadline to submit men's basketball season ticket request forms, and then priority points and ranking will determine the final seating and parking selection order at the end of June. In July, seating and parking selection appointment times will be sent out, and then early August, seating and parking selection process will begin. So you've got that. You also got the football renewal deadline coming up. So all of this to me ties together because you're going to have to make a game plan out. All right, how many football tickets do I want or need, and how many basketball tickets can I afford? Because there's just a limited quantity when it comes to, 19,000 seats that really boil down to the public to about probably closer to 15,000 seats.
In terms of, we were talking about communication, what do you think it's been like at the Razorback Foundation in the last?
Oh, I'm sure their phones have rang. I'm sure the people that have.
You want that job right now?
Well, I mean, listen, it goes with the territory. What are you going to do? Crawl back in bed and pull the covers over your head? And, these are professionals. They're going to deal, from Ryan White, to Coach Z to Quinn Grovey and the others that are, Marvin Castens, a name that should get mentioned a lot. He's probably raised more money for the foundation than any of those guys, maybe all of them put together, and does a great job of building relationships. But if you want to sit
he's really funny.
Mid-court, first 15 or 20 rows, prime seat, you're going to pay $40. That's what you're going to pay. And what do you get, 14 seats with that?
Yeah,
you buy up to 14 seats?
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, I think you're right in the fact that, hey, this is going to boil down to a lot of corporations will build that. What would that be? About $3,500 a month?
Yeah.
A little less than that. They'll build that into the budget.
Is that
be a line item?
Is that a tax write-off or no? I don't help me on that.
I'm not a tax expert. There are things that are deductible, and then there are things that are not. And I think the cost of the actual ticket is, and the donation is not.
Yeah.
So,
Colton, you were going to chime in earlier. You look like you're about to say something.
Oh, I was just going to touch on earlier. You mentioned Kentucky and Eddie Sutton. So 78, you did play them in the Final Four.
Well, but he was the
coach. Yeah,
when he was a coach at Kentucky.
I'm talking about when
I missed the question.
Oh, you're good.
That and with all this stuff, Hunter's just caught in between a rock and a hard place here because really the only thing is, Ty, you talk about 2021, that period of time whenever your football team was great, your basketball team was in the NCAA tournament, your baseball team was sustained success. Hunter was the golden boy of the state at that time. He could do no wrong. Wins and winning would wash all this away. So it's unfortunate that it just has to coincide with a rough patch.
That is an interesting. So I said earlier, I think Danny White's the best athletics director in the SEC, maybe the country, because his programs are doing the best. It is interesting, that dynamic and that juxtaposition you just brought up, Colton. It's like you compare how adored and how much credit Hunter got for that time frame and to where it is now, where it's not anywhere close. Like, pick an Arkansas fan what they think about Hunter Yurchek on January 30th, 2025 versus what they thought about Hunter Yurchek in like beginning of June, which the baseball team was, if I remember, that had just come off that #1 season. They were on their way actually to Chapel Hill. They had won in Oklahoma State, Chapel Hill, and then went to the College World Series. I mean, it's just completely that is part of that is, in my opinion, and fundraising is a big part and everything else, but you look at what's going on in Knoxville, and I think a lot of athletics directors would envy what Danny White has been able to accomplish with their programs. And
having 105,000 seats helps, put a lot of money in the coffers.
Thompson Bolin's bigger than Fayetteville, but Lindsey Nelson's it's getting renovated right now, so it's going to look a lot better. But
here's the question though, and here's the other thing with the foundation and your giving. Once you go up, once I go from 1,000 to 2,000. Or 2,000 to 3,000. There's no going back. That's the other thing that, you lose your entire place in line if you do that. And some would say you get punished when you do that. Well, what if my business has a bad year? What if the economy tanks? And I guess maybe the last thing you should worry about is your season tickets, but maybe the extra 10 grand this year just isn't there.
So let me ask you.
They won't, that's the other thing that talk about burrs that get under my saddle. Hey, if I've got an extra 500 or 5,000 or whatever to give you, they won't let you just kind of, do this for a year or two while I can afford it. So
that's the other thing. Get off your saddle for a sec.
Yeah.
Put back on your suit. Since you're a suit. What did they screw up? Like, I don't want you guys to think of us as shills. We're not. There's times that Hunter deserves credit. There's times he deserves criticism. As does Ryan White, anyone else, coaches, players. It just is part of what we do. What did they screw up?
I don't know that they screwed. I would have liked to have seen this communication tied in a little more with football, because it's not like you've got to give 40 grand for basketball, then another 40 grand for football.
Yeah. And
you can bring it all together. I think that's maybe the communication. All right, if I give the 40 grand, which we're not going to give, but that entitles me to 14. I think Hunter did a good job in that clip you're playing there of saying, hey, we've brought that down to where you can't eat up a bunch of seats. Listen, if you can afford to give 40, then you can afford to buy all the seats that are allocated to you. You'd be foolish not to. So, yeah, I mean,
that was
the only thing I would say is I wish they'd have tied the football, basketball, and baseball into the one communication there.
You'll be receiving an email tomorrow from the Arkansas Athletics Department that does that. Please credit the Morning Rush for that change.
That's Craft with a C, by the way, CRAFT for the footnote credit. All right, tomorrow we'll do our Fence Man Friday picks, 782-3936. Hopefully Sean's back from being under the weather, flu and COVID, and everything's been going around, and he missed last week. We'd love to see him tomorrow, and hopefully he is feeling better. I'm going to tell you right now, the Fence Man can build you a quality fence, give you a great price, get it done quick. Get on the list for a free, no obligations quote, 782-3936, and we'll talk with Sean tomorrow here on the Morning Rush. Gaston's has winter rates right now. They're in effect, big savings up to 40% off through the winter months. Some great fishing. I know it's rainy and wet today, but boy, I'm going to tell you, I bet you some big browns and big rainbows are caught today at Gaston's. You need to call them and ask about winter rates, 870-431-5202. Private cabins and lodges. They have about 80 of them. They have a pool on site. They have a workout room. They got nature trails. They got their own landing strip for private aircraft, and a great restaurant that overlooks the White River as well. 870-431-5202 for reservations. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time, every time.
Listen to that last segment, I promise you, it sounded like I walked into a barbershop and listened to two old men just go at it. That was great.
You're listening to the Morning Rush.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer. The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
I've never had to wear a helmet to play golf until I met you.
Hey, this is Ty Richardson for Jake Neal and his team at Jerry Neal's Barbecue. Jake's dad, Jerry, started cooking barbecue at Jerry Neal's in 1977, and Jake took over and has been doing the same thing ever since. I got ribs the last time I was there. Woo! Man, they were good. Don't forget about the catfish either. It's cooked to order, so it's hot and fresh every single time. The best catfish in the River Valley. Jerry Neal's Barbecue, Catfish, and Catering, 1823 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith.
Ready to explore beyond the beaten path? Discover the Range Rover lineup at Land Rover of Little Rock. Experience handcrafted luxury with the capability to take on any adventure. The elegant Range Rover offers unmatched performance and first-class luxury. The Range Rover is built for every journey. Visit Land Rover of Little Rock today and explore our incredible Range Rover selection. Plus, take advantage of our promotions and recently revamped service department. Visit us at 25 Colonel Glenn Plaza Drive or log on at LandRoverLittleRock.com.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Herod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Robert.
And this is Elizabeth, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
Folks, it's that time of year again.
Mom, what's he talking about?
Matt, I have no idea.
It's hoop time, and in about a month, it's going to be baseball season.
And the Stadium Shop has everything you need.
Whether it's decorating your fan cave or getting something to wear for the game, we have what you need.
We even have Nike basketball jerseys, sideline apparel, even brands like Cutter and Buck and Champion.
Or how about something from Tommy Bahama or Coliseum for those Hawaiian shirt Sundays?
Guys, Nike baseball team hats and jerseys will get here about the 1st of February. Hey, Matt, do you know what's blue but doesn't weigh very much?
No, what?
Light blue.
Mom, please help.
Matt, there's no cure for a dad joke.
Folks, come by the Stadium Shop located at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baum Walker Stadium, or shop us on them Insta WW book.
Dad, it's
Facebook.
the website, which is shoponrazorback.com. That's shoponrazorback.com.
Or call us at 479 Stadium. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. The best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world. Rachel's at Papa's right now. Rachel, what do you think?
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. The best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
You can check out their menu at papaspub.com. Cricket, how about you?
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. The best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
Come on by and see us at Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
So Kent brings up a good suggestion as we close out this edition of the Morning Rush here on a Thursday. Not only would it be a good idea for the Arkansas Athletics Department, Foundation, just the combination of all to list out the basketball and or the football, basketball, baseball, like you said, which that was kind of my thing. But he also suggests is put the comparisons up for other SEC schools. I know that
I find out it's a better value than you might think.
Hunter did mention that some of the reason that they added that extra donation to your list was because they were among the lowest of all the SEC schools in elite donors. So part of that was to try and drum up some extra business.
Yeah, and I think having that extra top end layer is not a bad thing either. Hey, Super Bowl a week from Sunday. If you haven't downloaded the Oaklawn Sports app, be sure and do that. Apple app or Google Play Store. Receive a first or a second chance bet on each of your first 10 bets the first 10 days. All right. So when you download the app, you're automatically enrolled. So if you bet $100, that's up to $100 each of the first 10 days. I think today is the day to add that. You can do that with the Oaklawn app. Bet with the brand you trust anywhere in Arkansas. Bet with Oaklawn Sports.
All right, so Travis Kelce is dropping another $3 million on his family to sit in the Super Bowl box. How much would you pay for Laura to go see Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl?
If you made that kind of money, you wouldn't even care.
Drop in the bucket. All right, well, that's going to do it for us here on this Thursday. Phil Elson, Matt Jones coming up on halftime. We'll see what Phil and Matt thinks about these topics this morning.
Is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. See